Hi, everybody. How was lunch? Yay. I'm very excited to get to follow lunch. My name is Rick Dowling. I'm as the slide says there, I'm the coordinator of faculty development at the Faculty Resource Center here on campus. As you'll learn here in the next few minutes, we support the enterprise-wide instructional technologies on campus. So that is our function. I'm going to share some of that with you today. You've probably been asked this a million times, but how many of y'all are brand new to Tuscaloosa, brand new to the University of Alabama? That's awesome. I know you've gotten some good information. You get good information over this workshop, but I want to share this with you. Very important. This has nothing to do with technology. Roll Tide is both a greeting and a response. Okay, so you're walking on the street, somebody says Roll Tide, you just say Roll Tide back. Okay, just wanted to get that out there. That was free, no charge for that. That's all you. So, should you remember nothing else that I say or do today, please remember that we have a lovely website. Have y'all heard of this thing, the internet? It's big. I think it's going to be bigger. We have a website, frc.ua.edu, which has just all manner of things. We have a full schedule of workshops about the various technologies that we support. You guys are welcome to join us for those. I know it says faculty technology, but we are here for you to assist in your teaching. So we've got workshops, we've got tutorials, we've got all manner of resources about the various technologies that we cover. So if you get nothing else from today, please remember frc.ua.edu. Visit our site. Visit it often. At this point, no doubt, you've been exposed to MyBama. Yes, we all love MyBama. You can do a lot of cool things at MyBama. You can check your email, register for classes, you can see your class rosters, you can access a bunch of other tools. We're actually going to jump onto MyBama in just a little bit, but mybama.ua.edu. It's a good idea to update that contact information. Yours should be pretty up to date, given that most of you seem to be new. But make sure that your contact information is current. There's also a text notification system in the event of campus emergency, so it's a good idea to have those numbers on file at mybama.ua.edu. And this is a cool thing, the photo class list. Have y'all been exposed to this yet? Oh, it's cool. I love it. Okay. Look at this. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, this represents the crowning achievement of my skills in Photoshop. Thank you. Thank you very much. I can't show you my actual photo class list, right? Y'all had the legal bit yet? That would be kind of a FERPA violation. I like working here, so I had to make this up. And only one of these kitties actually lived with me. That's Pearl, right? She's in kitty heaven now, but she was a great cat. Anyway, so on MyBama, under the instructor tab, there is a link for photo class list. So you get to see pictures of the students who are in your class. That is pretty neat. I am challenged by remembering names. So this was a great help to me. I've taught as an adjunct for a number of years, and I'm challenged every semester to remember only 15 names. And I know some of you guys are going to be teaching courses that are much larger than that, but this was a great way to help me remember names. Be advised that these photos are the photos that are used on folks' action cards. So the ones that, the very same photos that you submitted or had taken for your action cards are these right here. And depending on what year or level of course you're taking, I was teaching a 400 level course, so many of these photos were 4 years old by the time I got to meet these students, and they looked pretty radically different in some cases. So just be advised of that. But the photo class list is a really helpful tool. At the Faculty Resource Center, we support the technologies you see up there. Box, have y'all heard about Box? We'll take a brief visit with Box. Of course, our main thing is Blackboard. We're a Blackboard school. The Faculty Resource Center is your source of support for Blackboard. And the technologies that work within Blackboard, such as Turnitin which is a plagiarism detection tool. It's also a writing improvement tool. It's a way for you to help your students write better. Turning Point, which is our student response system. Clickers, have y'all used these before? Not everybody gets a deluxe lanyard, but I do, so I'm special. But your students can, if you decide to use students' response systems, we call them clickers, although notice, they don't click. That's a problem. We've got to rename that. Your students can use the actual device as I showed you, or they can use, there is an app that can be used on a student's phone to allow the phone to serve as a virtual clicker. Both the clicker devices and the licenses are sold at the supply store, but we support that technology. There's a subset of Blackboard called Blackboard Collaborate, which is a synchronous teleconferencing tool. So you could set up office hours, virtual office hours for your students via the use of Blackboard Collaborate, and it's all accessible within your Blackboard course. This icon here represents Tegrity, which is our lecture capture system on campus. As you'll see in a moment, every Blackboard course that is created on campus has a link for Tegrity recordings. And what Tegrity does, in case you're not familiar with it is a lecture capture system that captures everything going on the screen as well as your audio, your voice. So you can record each of your lectures. Your students will be able to access them on their own time. And here's the really amazing part about Tegrity. If you're using PowerPoint or another presentation application, your students will be able to search the text within your PowerPoint to find a term. So if you had a 300-slide PowerPoint presentation, boy, I hope you don't. But if you did, and 150 slides in there, you had the word cat, your students could later search for the word cat, and they would be taken to the point in the recording where the slide that has the word cat appears on it. That is pretty amazing. That is really magic beans kind of stuff. But that is Tegrity. Blackboard Learn, it's our learning management system. That's its official name. Here are some of the things that it does. It's a grade book. It'll give you tools like discussion boards, wikis, blogs. You can actually do testing through Blackboard. You can share content with your students. You can share documents, really any kind of content, any sort of digital file can be shared with your students. You can export your midterm and or final grades to MyBama via Blackboard. It's quite a handy thing. And again, look at this. We put a little smiley face for you guys. We like grad students too, so come see us. We're always there. So here's Turning Point. The main reason that people want to use Turning Point is to interact with a large group. If I had the luxury of having a couple of hundred Turning Point clicker devices, I would have distributed them to you, and I would have gotten you to do some interaction. Because, you know, we just had lunch, and I'm trying to keep you interested. So, but you can poll students during class. You create presentations, polling presentations within PowerPoint, and you can, during the class, in real time, have your students respond and show you their level of comprehension. So you can ask multiple choice questions, true, false questions. You could even do an essay question. And so you can have students actually participate with you in class through the use of Turning Point. And again, our office supports that. Tegrity, really just amazing. Searchable, it's searchable. And the great thing about it is I will say virtually every classroom on campus has Tegrity recording capability. It's an icon on the desktop. You click the icon, you log into Tegrity, you decide what Blackboard course the recording needs to go to, and then you press record, you do your lecture, at the end you press stop, and the recording automatically gets uploaded to Blackboard and is then available to your students to view. It's a pretty cool product, and again, that's another thing that we support. Turn it in. The main thing that Turnitin is known for is the plagiarism gotcha. Has anybody used Turnitin before? Have y'all been experienced? Okay. That's the main thing it's known for, but it's really more than that. It's a great way to teach your students how to cite properly, how to improve their writing. There is a grading function for you as an instructor within Turnitin that will allow you to hopefully improve your students' writing, not just catch them for plagiarism. So it also allows for peer review. You can assign your students to review each other's work through the use of Turnitin. And again, that's supported in our office. Blackboard Collaborate. If you want to conduct online courses, Collaborate is a very handy tool. It allows for app sharing. It does, you can do limited polling, not polling like you would do with the clicker devices, but it does support that. It allows you to, you can chat, there's real-time audio and video, there's a whiteboard, and you can also share applications. So just for instance, in my work as coordinator of faculty development, I do a lot of workshops on these different technologies, and I will often offer them up as webinars just to make attendance at my workshops more convenient, and I will allow, or I will use Collaborate so that folks can join me virtually from the comfort of their office or wherever. So Blackboard Collaborate is a very handy tool for that. There is a relatively new tool to our campus called VoiceThread. This also exists within Blackboard, and the best way I can describe VoiceThread is that it allows you and or your students to create comments on media files. So think of it as kind of a multimedia discussion board. So you as the instructor can record a video, and your students can reply via text, audio, or video. It's a neat product. I encourage you to take a look at VoiceThread. Again, it's a tool within Blackboard. UA Box. The thing that makes Box great, there's a lot of things that makes Box great. The biggest thing to me is that we have unlimited Box storage. Really. I mean, okay, there's probably a limit out there somewhere, but we haven't hit it yet. So Box is cloud storage and document collaboration. So we have unlimited storage space. There's a link from my BAMA that will take you to UA Box. Our accounts are set up automatically, so each of you in here, assuming you have a My BAMA account, you have a Box account that exists right now for you. You can collaborate with other people. You can share folders. For instance, I don't know if you noticed when we were getting ready, I shared this presentation with Lisa via Box. And we were able to just share this PowerPoint. Of course, you can share any kind of file, but that is Box. And it really is unlimited storage. I had a student ask me, he was like, hey, is this really unlimited? And I encourage you to share the information about Box with your students. They hopefully have heard of it, but share this information with them because faculty, staff, and students, we all get an account on Box that is no charge to us. Someone pays for it. I'm pretty sure it's Dr. Bell. We'll let him write the check for that. But for us, it is free to use. So what I'd like to do now is actually go to Blackboard and do a couple of common tasks that often we're required to do in Blackboard. So that is my next thing. And let me just tell you, as a presenter, there is nothing more exciting than doing live technology demos in front of a group. So, let's give this a shot. And I'm also a Mac person, so, okay, and this is a PC, but hey, we can all get along. So, here's my BAMA, and I'm also a nervous typer, which is weird because I do a lot of presentations. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see if I get this right the first try. Well, okay. It's going great so far. So, how's everybody doing? Okay. And by the way, while we're standing here waiting for this to load, it has been explained to me before that I do have a resemblance to Drew Carey. So thank you so much. So if you remember nothing else, remember frc.ua.edu, and guy looked like Drew Carey. So my Bama, this is great. I just talked about how great my Bama was. Let's try this again. Haha, success. Okay, I will share that you're wondering, I got my password right, so yay for me. You get this little notice. There is a new application that is in use on campus that will be rolling out to everybody really soon called Duo. It's two-factor authentication for MyBama login. I've signed up for it. So what happens is I log into MyBama, and through the Duo app, I get a request to verify that this is really me logging in. So I go to Duo. It says I have a request waiting. I click proceed, and I will be allowed to proceed into MyBama. Okay, so here we are. I'm in MyBama. So Duo is coming. I encourage you to look at these little tabs along the side. We call them tabs. There is a tab called the Tech tab, and that is where you will find information about Duo, this big green lock thing right there. I encourage you to look at that. I think that's rolling out in October for the campus, so you're going to need to have that to log into MyBama. A brief tour of MyBama. There are these little windows that you see here are called channels. And again, in the different tabs, you'll see different channels. So if I go over to the faculty tab, might be academics, but faculty, pretty sure I clicked that. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this is the faculty tab. Now I believe, Lisa, correct me, do you get a faculty tab as a GTA, or is it under academics?
I'm not sure. I want to say yes.
Okay, let's say yes. If you get a faculty tab, it might also be advised it might be under academics, which is right here. So it's either a faculty tab or academics. And again, each channel has a slightly different feel. But this banner self-service is where the photo class list lives. Don't worry, I'm not going to disclose any FERPA things.
Yes, you do. I remember that.
You do get a faculty tab.
Looking at my class.
Great. So under your faculty tab, you get this great long list of faculty and advisors, and in here is a link for photo class list. I just wanted to show that because I really found that to be super helpful. Interesting in working with technology on campus, as I have, in the faculty channel again, or in the faculty tab, there's a channel for Blackboard Learn. And you see, because I've been here for an incredibly long time, I have lots and lots of courses from prior semesters. Interesting tidbit, earlier this semester, or actually it was during the summer, we did an update to Blackboard, and for a number of technical reasons, this channel stopped populating with this information, and that's when we learned that most people go to Blackboard this way. So that is a way to get to Blackboard. The way I usually go, there is a More tab up here at the top. If you click on that, there is a link for Blackboard. So I click on Blackboard, and now we're at Blackboard. Again, we had no idea so many people used the other method until it broke. But now it's fixed. Yay. So we're at the My Institution page on Blackboard. I've got my courses, and frankly, this is the main window of interest here for me is a list of my courses. It's broken down by semesters. I've got it set up to sort by semesters, so to put my courses in order of semester. Have y'all been exposed to the cryptic code with how we number semesters? This is valuable stuff. 2017-10 refers to, you might guess, the year 2017. 10 is the spring semester. 40 is the fall semester. 30 is the summer semester for any stuff that happens in the summer, and there isn't a 20. I don't know why, but there's not one. So if you see course names that have what might appear to be cryptic descriptions, 2017-10 TCF 461, that is actually a course name. So don't let that throw you. Just want to give you that little bit of knowledge there. So you will see as soon as you are assigned as a TA or even as an instructor in a course, you will see a list of courses by your role. So notice that I am an instructor for all these, and I'm a course builder, which is a different role in Blackboard. There's also a student role. So you might see your student courses in Blackboard as well. I'm not currently a student in too many courses, so just wanted to show you that. I've created a special course just for us today. I called it 2017 GTA Workshop. Nothing cryptic about that. But if you were to, as I did just the other day, create this course, it is a brand new course, fresh out of Blackboard. There is nothing in this course. I just wanted to take you through a brief tour of this. This is the course menu. This is what your students will see, and we'll give an example of that in just a moment. As instructors, we get a course management menu, which is over here on the left, and we get to see different content areas which are displayed in the center here. It is a web application. You navigate through it just by clicking links. Each Blackboard course comes with a content area. These things are called content areas. They each come with a content area called a course homepage. Now, perhaps you guys will be creating these courses. Perhaps you will inherit a course that will already be created for you. But I just wanted to show you the basics of that. So here is an empty course homepage. These things across the top are buttons. I wish Blackboard would make them a little more obviously buttons, but rest assured, they are buttons. And this being a content area, we can add content to this. So let's just do that. Let's add an image. And again, it doesn't really matter. I like kittens, so I'm going with that. So I'm going to browse the, hopefully I can find my kittens. Oh, there we go. Kittens, yay. Okay, so I have, there's my file name. By the way, wherever you see this asterisk, you have to enter data there. You have to enter something. Your file name your name for the file does not have to be the actual file name. So let me rename this thing just to prove that to you. I'm just going to call this Box O Kittens. So Box O Kittens, and then just another amazing, dazzling display of Blackboard technology. You can have that text display in any of these colors. Behold. So I'm just going to stick with, let's go purple. Because, you know, purple kittens. And we'll apply that. And you have some other options. You can rearrange the dimensions of the image. You can open the image in a new window, which is what we're going to set it up to do. In fact, that's the default. This alignment doesn't apply to us, but the Blackboard company does work with K through 12 folks, and it's very important to them. And that's just something we can't make go away, but pay no attention to it. The default is no. You can determine as you upload content whether you want your students to be able to view it. This is something you could change later, but if you're developing something and you're not quite ready for your students to see it, all you have to do is say, no, under permit users to view this content, and it will not be visible to them. You can have Blackboard track the number of views. You can also set this image up to display between certain dates and times. That's pretty handy. So let's go to Submit. And you get what I like to call the happy green bar of success, which means success, Boxo Kittens was created. And by the way, this was my plan B. If the technology didn't work, I was just going to put this on the screen and run out. So it's always good to have a plan B. So we've just added an image to our content area, but you can also add other content areas. We do not dictate how you organize your course. How you want to do that's completely up to you. To add content areas, again, as instructors, we get this plus sign, the mighty plus sign, which allows us to add things to our course. So if we want to add another content area, we click that. We have to give it a name. I'll just call this Week 1. We can choose whether or not to make it available to users right here. Let's go ahead and do that. And I will click Submit. And Week 1, this content area gets added and dropped down to the bottom of this list. Wherever you see a two-headed arrow in Blackboard, you can move things about. So I can drag this up to the top here. I can put it anywhere I want. And when I drop it, it will be in that position. And when I go to it, by clicking, we're back to another empty content area. So how you organize your course is completely up to you. One of the content types, by the way, is a content folder. So you could add folders within content areas. And again, that organization is up to you, and up to you as the instructor of the course. So let's go ahead and add a folder here. I'll give it a catchy name like folder. You can add a text description if you'd like. And again, you'll see this dialog is fairly common throughout Blackboard. So when you add things, you'll get some standard options. There's the number of views. There's the permit viewers. Date and time restrictions. We don't want to adjust any of those right now, so we'll just submit that. And that's how a folder appears. And when you click on a folder, you can still continue to add content to a folder. Much like using your actual computer, you can create folders. Folders can have folders within folders, and so on and so forth. The best advice I can give you about creating your Blackboard course is to make it as obvious as possible for your students. I mean, it needs to be easily navigable for your students to find the content you need to share with them. And along those lines, there is a tool built into Blackboard called Student View. It's this gray button up at the top right. It's called Go to Student View. And so when we click that, this being the first time I fired up this course, Blackboard creates a user for the course called Demo User. Don't do like I did the very first time I set up a Blackboard course. I clicked on Student View and went to my Grade Center and noticed that I had a new student. Except it's not a new student, it's the demo student. So don't let that fool you. We will close this. And now we are viewing our course as our students will see it. This is extremely handy. As I'm adding content, I am constantly going back and forth between instructor view and student view just to make sure I'm being as obvious as possible. So notice they don't get a plus sign. They don't get a course management menu, but they're able to see the content. And as I look at this, I'm like, wow, I really like kittens, but perhaps this photo is too big. So I would probably want to adjust that. I can go back to the teacher view by just clicking Return to Teacher View. Another great thing about Blackboard is you can get out of the physical paper business. If you have your students create papers or really any other kind of assignment. I taught a multimedia production class, and I had students upload video projects to Blackboard. But I just wanted to go over very quickly how to create an assignment. How am I doing on time? Okay. So I'm in the week 1 content area that we just set up. Under assessments, if you hover over that, you can see the kinds of assessments we can do for our students. We can make tests, we can make assignments. That's what we're about to do. Be advised that if you use Turnitin, it has its own category of assignment. So that's how you would set that up here under this Turnitin assignment link. But let's just make a regular assignment. We have to give our assignment a name. Let's just go with write a paper. You can add related files to the assignment if you need to. You can assign a due date. So, well, you know, let's see, I'll give you all till tomorrow. You have a full day. And we get to assign the grading for this assignment. We have to assign a number of points. Let's make it worth 100 points. You can use rubrics within Blackboard. I really don't have time to go over that with you today, but you can set up a grading rubric within Blackboard if you'd like. And once you get them created, you can continue to modify them and use them in the future. Big fan of rubrics. Under submission details, you can set up group assignments or individual assignments. You can give multiple attempts for your students to complete an assignment under the submission details there. And under grading options, you can set up anonymous grading by checking this box, which hides the student names from you while you're grading. That could be helpful. Delegated grading can also be added, but I have a feeling you are the people to whom the delegating is going to happen, so congratulations. So you can enable delegated grading there. That's kind of hard to say. And you can decide how the grades are displayed to your students. As a score, as a letter, as a percentage. What other choice do we have there? Score, letter, text, percentage, complete or incomplete. So there's all sorts of variables within setting up an assignment. One thing that the students do seem to appreciate a great deal is letting them see their grades in the My Grades function. They really care about that. So that's a good thing. And again, that will be between you and the other instructor in the course. You can determine to make the assignment available, or we can edit that later. And again, you can limit that availability. So only have a display for a certain amount of time. You can track the number of views, and when we've made all these decisions, we click Submit. And so now that's what an assignment icon looks like. So let's jump back to student view. And there's those kittens again. So let's go to week 1. Hey, I have an assignment. Cool. So click on that. I get the assignment information. So again, I'm a student now. I'm demo student. I've got till tomorrow. It's worth 100 points. Under assignment submission, I can either compose the text in Blackboard or I can attach a file. So let's try this. It worked a minute ago with the kittens. Here we go. Cats are better than dogs. Now, if you're a dog person, I'm just making things up. Okay, I don't want letters from the dog people. I like dogs too. So cats are better than dogs. I can add comments, but let's submit this. And I will get a preview. As you see, it's generating here. Normally it doesn't take this long. This must be a spectacular paper. The student will see a preview just as confidence that the file actually did upload. So there's my work. I can confirm, yes, that is what I uploaded. And so now I have successfully completed this assignment. Let's go back to teacher view. Okay. We'll go back to teacher view very quickly, and look at how we would grade this assignment. So let's go to Grade Center, which again is under the Course Management menu. Hopefully I'm not obscuring that for you. You go to Grade Center, and there are 4 different views of the Grade Center. There's a function called Needs Grading, Full Grade Center, Assignments, and Tests. So you can basically do some sorting there within these links. Needs Grading is pretty cool, so let's go to that view. When you click Needs Grading, let's say an assignment's due and all your students have uploaded their assignments, when you go to Needs Grading, it will show you a list of the assignments that you need to grade. This is great. I really like this function. And as you grade them, they drop off this list. So it's a great way to feel accomplished to get through your grading. But to click on the user attempt, we see here's the paper. I can make comments within the text. I can add things. Dogs? What about dogs? And I can also assign it a grade. So I'll give myself let's give myself an 80, 85. I can also provide some feedback to the student in this little box. I can say, nice work, but let's include some dogs. And click Submit. Get the happy green bar of success that the grade was submitted. And now, let's go over to the Full Grade Center. There's that grade book I mentioned. So here is the Full Grade Center within Blackboard. It is somewhat like a spreadsheet, but I will share with you that it is not as powerful as Excel. If you are into Excel, chances are you are going to be less than dazzled by the Blackboard Grade Center. Fear not, we have a workaround for that, but you can make different columns within Blackboard. So here's the assignment we just created. Write a paper. Here's the demo user, and there's the grade. So when you see a Full Grade Center with all of your students and their grades, and you can continue to add assignments and tests and such throughout Blackboard, and this Grade Center will continue to expand, showing you all of your grades for your students. We have, and Grade Center, as you might imagine, can be a fairly complicated thing, but we have some great workshops coming up for Grade Center use. As promised, if you determine that perhaps this is not powerful enough for your needs, for your calculating needs, you can, under this Work Offline button over here, you can choose to download your Grade Center as an Excel file and work within Excel and then re-upload the columns that you need back to the Grade Center. So there's a way to accommodate those folks who decide that they want to use Excel rather than the Blackboard Grade Center. What else? So that pretty much concludes my regular presentation, but let me get back. Grade Center Basics, Duo, yeah, we did that. Yes. So again, frc.ua.edu. We have a lot of tutorials, a lot of instructional material on that website. That's where I spend a great deal of my professional life. But here's our contact information. Call us at 348-3532. We have a wonderful team of grad students who answer the phones and can answer just about any question you may have about Blackboard or any of these other technologies we talked about. Again, I'm Rick Dowling, Coordinator of Faculty Development. There's my email address. Feel free to reach out to me and I will assist you in any way I can. Welcome to campus and roll tide. Yeah, all right. And we've got a few minutes if there are any questions on your mind right now. Is that a question in the back?
Yes. Does Blackboard let you weight grades?
Does Blackboard let you weight grades? Yes, you can create in that Grade Center a weighted column, There are ways to set up columns where grades can be weighted, grades can be calculated. So there's a number of ways to do that within the Blackboard Grade Center. Yes, ma'am.
Under the assessments tab, like, can you set up quizzes and then have like maybe a variation of the quizzes?
Yes. The question is, can you set up an assessment or a quiz within Blackboard and then make variations of it? Yes. There are ways to create test pools, question pools, and have Blackboard draw from those pools. There are also ways, as you set up the quizzes or tests, to have Blackboard display the questions and even the answer choices randomly. So that is a very nice feature within the testing feature of Blackboard. And here's the key. They grade themselves. Yes, I love that. Not that I'm lazy, but I like things that grade themselves. Now, obviously, Blackboard doesn't grade essays, but multiple choice, true, false, things a computer can grade, Blackboard does a really good job at. Further questions? Oh, yes.
Can you turn off the two-factor authentication from Duo if you don't want it?
That's a really good question. I do not know the answer to that. Sadly, we do not support Duo in my office, but if you contact the IT service desk, their website is oit.ua.edu. They can answer that question. There is a function within Duo that you can set up to leave yourself logged in for 30 days. That would be an option for you. And I will say I like having that extra layer of security because I've had the experience where I would be teaching a course and I taught at night. So I'd be driving home after my course and asking myself, did I log out of that computer? You know, so it does make me feel better to have that. But I think there is a 30-day option for Duo. Well, thank you all very much. Good luck to y'all.